Oh, I have to refresh Zencaster. Okay, I'll send you a new link.
Okay, sounds good.
But we are live right now.
Oh, hello
So I
everyone.
think people
Let
have
me
to
open Messenger.
jump back into our new live.
Okay, I see episode 30. Okay, I see 30.
Okay. Cool. Let me do a new Zencaster.
Yes? Yes.
Hello.
Okay. Oh. No, are you okay? Hold on, my cat's sneezing. What the fuck's wrong
Oh,
with you?
poor baby.
Are you okay? Hold on. Are you okay? Why is she just staring at me? Are you okay, or do you need medical assistance?
The cat's like, nah, dude, I'm fine.
I'm good. I guess you're fine. Whatever.
I'm
It's
okay,
Sunday,
bro.
I guess it's fine.
I'm all right.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get to the right chapter notes for episode 30, 149. Okay, cool. Yay.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, Nemesis.
Okay,
Guys.
episode 30. I have it open now. Whew. Welcome back. Okay, let me
Made
just
it. Okay.
click all of the things that I'm supposed to click. All right, I'm going to start with the recording. No crazy super intro this time, like the previous episode where I explained who we are. It's fine. If you heard the last episode, then you don't need me to explain who we are again.
Yeah, we can just go straight into the script if you want.
Yes. All right, let me keep it open and stretch a little bit because I've been working all day. I've been streaming all day. I was in the kitchen baking noon, so I've been online since for 6 hours. I haven't even packed for Hall Mat yet.
I just packed yesterday, like my cosplay stuff, but I have to pack the table stuff and like regular clothes and Disney stuff.
Yeah.
Did you get your Disney stuff?
Yes. Yeah. I'll try it on tonight.
Okay. I haven't tried it on yet. Oh no.
Like the whole thing. Like,
Okay.
It's not gonna
Did
be
you see
as
that
cute.
It was raining?
Fuck what?
I heard that it was raining on the day that we're going to Disney.
No.
I'm praying that the rain moves, but Louis.
Pray the rain away. It's Florida. It's gonna rain.
Yeah, it's gonna. I'm gonna bring a raincoat, like a cute one, just in case. But... Yeah.
All right.
I'm sad. Okay. Anyways. JK. Fuck you, Florida. Why be raining on my Disney trip?
Yeah. Florida's just ruining it for everyone.
I know. JK. I know Tangarius is from Florida, so I'm sorry.
Cool. All right. Welcome to BLHQ. I'm Stella Chu.
And I'm Jenny Belly.
This is our weekly podcast breaking down the danmei web novel Heaven Official's Blessing, written by MXTX. We deep dive a few chapters at a time and discuss themes, cultural backgrounds, and our overall reactions. Spoilers abound and screaming will be had, so you have been warned.
In a recap of last week's episode, Hua Cheng's body is still unconscious as Xie Lian and Ming face off against K-Mo and the Blade Demon. Pei Su and Banrei suddenly appear to help fight. Fighting off the ghosts and sealing them inside clay pots. They are there in order to help the Rainmaster, but they got separated when they heard Xie Lian calling their names. The Blade Demon turns out to be Pei Ming's old subordinate, Rong Guang, who had staged a coup on Pei Ming's behalf so that Pei Ming could become king. Pei Ming never wanted to become king and was forced to battle against his own subordinates in order to stop the coup.
Now we're on chapter 149. Panic left and right, east or west, undecided. Panic at the mountain of Tonglu.
Panic, yes. I just wanted. There's some sort of Panic at the Disco joke in there somewhere.
Yeah. In this final battle, Pei Ming won both and lost. Wait,
Pei.
In this final battle, Pei Ming both won and lost. Pei Ming ended up killing every single soldier in the coup, all the soldiers that shared decades of friendship with him. At the end of the slaughter, the king of Shuli accused Pei Ming of treason, even though he was defending the throne. Back in the present, Pei Ming tells Rongguang, I should have known it was you. This is very much your style. Rongguang's resentment was so strong that it possessed the broken sword dyed in the blood of millions, and it was resentment that kept him alive this long. But the pot replies, your brothers are all long dead. I'm nothing but a sword.
Pei Ming returns the jar to Pei Su. After talking, they decide to all travel together since the Rainmaster who is searching for the kidnapped farmers is in the same direction inside Mount Tonglu. Xie Lian picks up the unconscious Hua Cheng and they go deeper into the woods. After a day of travel, they finally enter the second level of Mount Tonglu. Xie Lian notices that there are broken down, blackened houses on the roads here, and he wonders why there are houses out here in the middle of nowhere. Pei Ming says that he should ask Hua Cheng, but Hua Cheng is still asleep.
They eventually come to a fork in the road, one road going east and the other going west. They decide to stop for the night and set up camp. Since Pei Su and Xie Lian have no spiritual energy, they need to eat and rest. Pei Su and Ban Yue leave to find food, and Xie Lian watches over Hua Cheng. But a moment later, he senses something and looks up to see Pei Ming watching the two of them. Pei Ming laughs and says, fine, I'll go away. But Xie Lian is flustered and says, no, it's fine. It's not like he was doing anything weird. Why did Pei Ming sound like he caught Xie Lian being suspicious?
Were you being suspicious, Xie Lian? What were you up to? At that moment, Ban Rui returns with a chicken tied up in a pot. She admits that she doesn't know how to cook it. And Pei Ming, who is already dissatisfied with Ban Rui, begins to criticize her. All she knows how to do is fight and kill. She can't even cook or know how to paint her face. What kind of a girl is she? Xie Lian and Ban Rui are speechless. And Ban Rui didn't even grow up in a normal household. Remember, she was like an orphan who grew up in the streets during wartime.
Yeah.
So she doesn't understand Pei Ming's words. Why would a girl need to know how to cook and paint her face?
Xie Lian ignores him and offers to teach Ban Yue how to cook. Ban Yue is excited to learn from him. Pei Ming decides to help too and kills the chicken bloody with his bare hands. Xie Lian winces and asks if he could have used a knife to make it cleaner. Pei Ming comments that he has no sword, and they both turn to look at the clay pot. Rongguan seems to notice their look and shouts, get out of here, scram, far away, careful, I just might smear venom on my blade and poison you all. He's like, the suggestion of like, I mean, we just captured you, but like, could you just cut up this chicken for us?
We need a sword, so like... Pei Ming comments, he's always had that temper, of course it's him, and he keeps denying it. Xie Lian replies with sympathy, I understand completely. I have a little cousin who's somewhat like General Rong. He knows how to cuss, but he doesn't know how to do much. But at least Rongguang helped Pei Ming fight battles. If Qi Rong helped Xie Lian would probably end up dead. They both return to cooking the chicken. Xie Lian adds water and herbs and fruits to the pot. Ban Rui copies Xie Lian and finds edible things to add to the pot too. Pei Ming doesn't really know what they're doing since he's never been inside a kitchen before, so he helps by adding wood to the fire.
While they're cooking, Pei Ming suddenly asks Xie Lian, you've been banished twice, with 2 curse shackles on your person. After you've ascended for the 3rd time, you could have asked the emperor to remove them, so why didn't you? Xie Lian watches Ban Yue add scorpion snakes into the pot. And then responds with his own question, how come after you snapped Ming Guang you never forged a new sword as a spiritual device again? Pei Ming replies, what an unpleasant question. Xie Lian replies, likewise. At that moment, Hua Cheng finally wakes up. Xie Lian is excited and immediately goes to help him up. It looks like Hua Cheng has gotten bigger.
Hua Cheng now looks 14 when before he looked 10. He thanks Xie Lian for giving him relief. But then his face suddenly gets dark and he warns Xie Lian that something is headed their way and he must run away for now. Xie Lian can't sense anything, but he trusts Hua Cheng and he says that they should all leave. Pei Ming says, where should they go? Since Hua Cheng says that the presence is coming from the east, Xie Lian suggests that they follow the forked road going west. But just then, Pei Su comes running from his scouting up the western road and says, General, don't go down this road. There's a large number of ghosts coming this way right now. There are 500 ghosts headed their way.
Pei Ming asks which way they should go. The west has 500 ghosts, and Xie Lian can't sense anything dangerous from the east. But even though he doesn't sense danger, his instincts tell him to follow Hua Cheng and go west anyway. Without further ado, the group goes down the west road, and after running for several miles, not a single ghost appears. Pei Su and Xie Lian are confused. Where are all the ghosts? Suddenly, the whole group stops running. Before them is a field of corpses blocking the path. The reason they didn't see the ghosts is because something else got to them all first. Banyue is still holding the soup pot and is worried about the Rainmaster in hopes that she didn't go down this path. Pei Su says not to worry, since the bull cultivator is protecting her.
Right at that moment, Xie Lian hears a strange noise nearby. He goes to investigate and sees a skull crying out, "Mercy! I'll never come again! I want to go back! I want to go home!" Xie Lian picks it up gently and asks if it knows what happened here. The skull says, "There's something really scary ahead. Counting us. He's already killed over 1,000 ghosts and he's still dissatisfied. He's still... Over 1,000 ghosts? In Mount Tonglu, the more ghosts you kill, the stronger you become." Xie Lian asks for more information, but the skull says that it only remembers a black-clad man with a pale face. Pei Ming says that this sounds troublesome. Perhaps they should go east after all? But the skull then cries out, "The east won't do either, not the east!" Xie Lian says, "What's wrong with the east?" The skull says, "On the road to the east, there's a white-clad young man who within a day had already killed over 2,000 ghosts. He's far more terrifying than this one in the west."
The white-clad ghost?
And the black-clad young man? Who are these mysterious people?
Yeah.
Killing thousands of ghosts?
Yep. A day has passed, right? And Xie Lian has killed no ghosts. He has no maidens.
No, 0 maidens.
They're not making
everyone
very...
else is getting fucking powered up.
Yep, they're not making very good progress, honestly.
Yeah, even Rongguang killed like 400 ghosts or whatever. And they got nothing.
Yep. All right, so let's move on to chapter 150. If you guys want to comment while we're chatting, please feel free to. Then we can talk about what you guys are talking about. But we're only going to talk about what we're talking about right now, and not about the Spider-Verse trailer, because that's irrelevant to
That's valid.
what we're talking about.
Yo.
Anyway. Yeah, we're only interested in talking about BL. Okay, we have one-track mind. You have a one-track mind, so do we. So, chapter 150, panic left and oh yes, I already said the title. So now we're on to chapter 150. Everyone is shocked to hear that someone has killed over 2,000 ghosts already. Xie Lian glances at Hua Cheng and comments, "It seems like it was the right choice to pick the west road." Finally, the ghost fire in the skull burns out, and Xie Lian places it gently down on the side of the road. He asks Hua Cheng if he knows what creature is on the east road. Hua Cheng says he doesn't know, but the creature is headed this way. He says they shouldn't face it head on. The creature of the west is probably easier to deal with. The group agrees to continue westward, but after walking all night, they don't run into the creature or the Rainmaster. Eventually, they come across a little town, but it's empty of people and strangely desolate.
Oh, I'm gonna pause really quick because Tanguria says there's a volume difference between my microphone and your microphone. I think my microphone is quieter because I can see in the wavelength that it's smaller.
Yeah, in the recent edits, I've had to raise your volume by quite a number of decibels.
I opened it. I turned it to the second notch. Let me know if that's better? Question mark?
But no, it is a lot better.
It's better? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Real quick, everyone, headphone users, please don't blame me. Everyone I have to do a clap because then it's going to be easier for me to remember where to split the audio for Jenny's loudness and stuff. Okay, everyone cover your ears or mute us or something. Ready? Okay, and then that way I can just find that part of the clip and use that easily. Cut it. Yep.
Perfect. Okay, thank you for letting us know, Tangarius. I appreciate it. Okay. So let me go on to back here. Okay. In the town, they find a well with clean water, so they decide to rest there for a bit. Xie Lian and Pei Su drink the water, and Banrui approaches them with a cooking pot, telling them that they should eat. Everyone gathers to eat, but as soon as Banrui opens the pot, many faces stiffen. And this next section is verbatim from the book because I thought it was too funny to change anything. The group stared at the sight within the pot for a long time, each one of their pupils reflecting an endless, bottomless darkness, like it could pull them into the abyss, and no words could describe the sentiment expressed within their eyes. A moment later, Xie Lian patted Banwei's shoulder and gave a thumbs up. Not bad. It's good for a first time.
Oh my god. Xie Lian.
Xie Lian, please. What the fuck?
He's passing on his curse to cooking.
Banwei was an innocent young girl who did not know any better.
Oh my
god. And look at this bullshit that she made.
Pei Ming looks
void.
like...
It's literally a void.
Yep, a black void into the pot.
Yes.
Pei Ming looks at Xie Lian in disbelief. I thought your highness cooked before. Hua Cheng speaks up. Guga made this? I gotta try. Pei Ming and Pei Su look at Hua Cheng with eyes of awe, terror, and respect. Hua Cheng asks Xie Lian what this dish is called. Xie Lian clears his throat and says, toppled phoenixes. Hua Cheng compliments him, saying it's a great name. He reaches inside the pot and pulls out a burnt piece of something that looks like a broken corpse and puts it into his mouth. Pei Ming asks, how is it? Hua Cheng replies, tastes like its name. Pei Ming turns to Pei Su. It's made for you. Enjoy. Pei Su takes the pot from Ben Yue and expressionlessly reaches in.
Poor Pei Su. He likes Banwei and too much to like reject her cooking.
Yep, he's gonna die.
Oh, he is literally gonna die. This is not great.
In the next 2 minutes.
Literally, yeah. Xie Lian takes a look around the town and wonders why there is a settlement here when Mount Tonglu is supposed to be uninhabitable. Hua Cheng replies that it is inhabitable, but it was a long time ago. Mount Tonglu used to be an ancient kingdom, and this town is a historical remnant of a city from that kingdom. The closer they get to the middle, the more prosperous ghost towns they'll see. Just then, Pei Ming's voice shouts out in alarm because Pei Su has fallen to the ground. Xie Lian ignores the shouts and says, what's the name of this ancient kingdom? Sanlong, do you know? Hua Cheng also ignores Pei Ming and replies, the kingdom of Wuyang.
Pei Ming shouts out, Your Highness, do you have an antidote or something? You can't just leave him like this. And you, what are you feeding him? What's with the steak? It's still moving after it's been cooked for so long? Did it become a spirit? Ben Yue starts to kowtow and apologizes. I'm sorry. It indeed turned into a spirit. I didn't know how long it cooked for. It to become a spirit. I'm sorry. Xie Lian continues to ignore them. I'm ignorant and ill-informed. I can't seem to recall even hearing the name of this kingdom. How ancient is it? Hua Cheng replies that it's older than the kingdom of Shenle, at least 2,000 years old. Xie Lian notices that the buildings around them don't look 2,000 years old, and Hua Cheng says that it's because Mount Tonglu is sealed except every few hundred years, so it becomes like a mausoleum and is kept in good condition.
And remember that Shanle Kingdom is 800 years old, so 2,000 years old is like a very long time ago in comparison. Poor Pei Su. Pei Ming finally leaves Pei Su to his own devices and joins their conversation. He wonders how come this is the first time anyone's heard of this information in the outside world. Hua Cheng comments that naturally, only ghost kings who survive Mount Tonglu will come to learn this information, and ghost kings are good at keeping secrets. Unlike heavenly officials who find keeping secrets more difficult than passing a heavenly calamity. He isn't wrong though. If a heavenly official learned this information, it would probably take 2 hours before it spread to every communication array. Hua Cheng was able to keep this secret for hundreds of years. Pei Ming finds it interesting that though Hua Cheng kept this secret for so long, he reveals everything easily as soon as Xie Lian asks.
Suddenly, Xie Lian says that he remembers that he has heard of Wuyang before. When he was younger, training in the Royal Holy Pavilion, he remembers his guoshi telling him a story about Wuyang. Once upon a time, there was an ancient kingdom which had a talented and clever crown prince. He loved his people, and his people loved him. Long after he died, his people never forgot him. The guoshi told Xie Lian, "My child, I hope you will become a person like him." At the time, young Xie Lian had responded...
Oh no, sorry. My mistake. You continue.
At the time, young Xie Lian had responded, I don't want to become a person like him. I want to become a god. If that crown prince was really as amazing as you say, how come he didn't become a god? If people really never forgot him, then how come I never heard anyone speak of this crown prince before?
Oh my god, little Xie Lian is so full of himself. Like, holy fuck.
Little shit. Listen, you little shit. I'm trying to give you a
Fucking
story.
God. Yeah. Hearing the statements, the Goshi's face turns dark. That night, he made Xie Lian copy the Ethics Sutra 100 times. And that's why Xie Lian knows the Ethics Sutra so well now. It's, it's only because Xie Lian was the crown prince that he didn't get a worse punishment. In the end, Xie Lian never found any record of Wuyang Kingdom in any scrolls, so he assumed the Goshi made the story up. Pei Ming comments that Xie Lian's Goshi seems to know a lot. Whatever happened to him? Xie Lian admits that after Shanle fell, he lost track of him. But just then, Xie Lian feels something gripping his ankle and he shouts out an alarm, ready to break free. But when he looks down, he sees that it is Pei Su crawling on the ground with face in the mud.
Xie Lian says, General Pei Jr., what are you doing appearing like this? That was close. I almost ruined your hand. Banyu says, I don't know. Earlier, Pei Su kept crawling all over the ground and seemed to have discovered something important. Pei Su weakly points his hand in a direction. Xie Lian takes a look and notices that there are ox hoof marks on the ground. Pei Su croaks out, This is marks left behind by Lord Wind Rain Master's protection steed. Xie Lian wonders, could he be poisoned by the scorpion-tailed snake? He doesn't want to admit that it was the food that poisoned him. Banyu replies, their poison doesn't work like this. But then Hua Cheng says, the Rainmaster had already run into the black-clad man in the west and fought a battle. This episode, this chapter is so cute. I can't wait for it to be animated.
Funny.
So cute.
My god. Anytime Xie Lian's cooking comes in, it's like just fucking comedy.
So funny. And then Xie Lian knows his cooking is bad and he knows. He kind of does it in a way to just like troll people, like get back at them.
And he completely ignored Pei Ming. He's like, my fucking descendant is dying. And then he's just like, I wonder what this kingdom was called. Like,
history?
Fucking ignoring him.
Love history.
Yeah. Like, this person is dying. He's a fucking mortal now. He doesn't have the energy to fucking
save my descendant. Save him. No,
like,
the sky, butterflies. History. A mausoleum.
So
interesting.
Oh, so funny. And like Hua Cheng doesn't even care, so he's like ignoring him anyway.
I love it. Hi, Luximity.
Hello.
Yes. Thanks for joining.
What's up? Hello.
Also, Luximity has like the best Xie Lian cosplay.
Oh my god, have you guys seen her Xie Lian? It's so good.
It's so good.
God. I cry.
Oh, you're so pretty. You're such a pretty boy.
God damn it, why are you so fucking pretty? Okay, so that brings us into chapter 151. Since he can't speak, Pei Su uses the last of his strength to write the words battle formation on the ground before he passes out. Hua Cheng agrees. The hoof print left behind is larger than the Oxman's normal form, which means he transformed into his battle form. That means that there was a fight. You can also tell from the deepness of the prints that the enemy was strong, forcing the Oxman to be pressed into the ground. The fight ended in a tie since there was no tracks of blood or evil aura. It seems like both sides found each other a pain to deal with, so they both abandoned the fight.
The group continues walking west and they come across a large peculiar building on the side of the road. Hua Cheng says that it is Wu Yang's divine temple. Pei Ming is carrying Pei Su's unconscious body and he asks Hua Cheng how he knows it's a divine temple. Hua Cheng says that it's written on it. The group looks at the stone beam of the gates, and there is writing there, but it looks like strange scratch marks. Xie Lian can't understand the writing at all. Hua Cheng translates it. The gist of the meaning to the row of words is, Eminent Crown Prince descends with light to shine everlasting onto the land of Wuyang. That's a fucking ton of words. Let me try that
really
again.
Long. Yeah.
The gist of the meaning to that row of words is, Eminent Crown Prince descends with light to shine everlasting onto the land of Wuyang, and such nonsense praises.
Pei Ming is shocked that Hua Cheng can read ancient writing, but Hua Cheng smiles fakely at him and says, I've stayed at Mount Tonglu for 10 years. Much can be done in a month. If I can't even interpret some words after 10 years, then what am I doing on this earth, am I right? Pei Ming thinks that not even the top civil gods in heaven could say such words. But Xie Lian is confused. If the crown prince of Wuyang ascended to become a god, why did the Guoxi tell him that he died in all those stories? Hua Cheng says that there are 3 possibilities. 1, he didn't actually know. 2, he lied. Or 3, the crown prince really did die, but it wasn't a typical death.
Pei Ming thinks that if Junwu was here, then perhaps he would have had information about this kingdom or knew about the crown prince of Wuyang. Hua Cheng says, maybe not. The kingdom of Wuyang disappeared over 2,000 years ago. In comparison, Junwu is only a youngin. They are of completely different dynasties. Junwu ascended 1,500 years ago and was a famous general who became king. He became immortal after ruling for some time. As the #1 martial god who ruled for thousands of years, his background history is known by everyone. As for dynasties that Hua Cheng mentioned, he's speaking about the dynasties of heaven.
Currently, Junwu is the ruler of hundreds of heavenly officials of the upper court. That is the current dynasty. Before him, there was a different government that belonged to a different dynasty. Just like how regimes change in the mortal realm, dynasties of the heavenly realm change over time. Old gods get replaced with new gods, and people's beliefs change. For example, if there is a god of horses, he will be in power for as long as people are in need of horses. But if one day mortals discover something better than horses, the god of horses will no longer be needed. This way of decline is the cruelest because there is nothing anyone can do about it. The only way is for the god to return to the mortal realm and recultivate a new path and become a brand new god. Otherwise, they are destined to watch their own decline until they disappear. Yikes. Yep.
I mean, that makes sense. Now we have cars.
Now we have cars.
Now we got the car god, which
A few horses.
which is lightning. Wait, lightning. Yes. What's his name? Lightning
McQueen?
McQueen.
The Cars universe from Disney?
Yes.
Is he the god of cars?
Yes, he is. Who else would be? Who else would be the god of cars?
I guess it's Lightning McQueen because he's the only fucking car that talks.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And who's the god of trains?
Oh my god, dude! If you say Thomas the fucking
Yep.
I hate it.
Okay, where were we?
They are just in history immortal, so I guess it's fine.
Okay. The gods of the previous dynasty are said to have faded this way, although others say that it was because of a great battle that they all fell from grace at the same time. Nothing can be proven though, so no one thinks that it's important anymore. A few centuries later, Junwu was born and created a new dynasty. Right after him, a great number of heavenly officials ascended, filling the gap of worshippers. There is no current god who is older than Junwu. The group enters the Great Hall, and Xie Lian is surprised that inside, all the walls are painted black. Hua Cheng says that as far as he's seen, all the divine temples on Mangtanglu are like this. It's a chilling sight. Why would anyone paint divine temples with such an ominous color?
And let's keep in mind the story that we talked about, how all the gods of the previous dynasties were said to have faded away, or it was because of a great battle. Who's to say? Maybe the story will reveal itself later. Just keep that in mind, though.
Mm-hmm.
They just dropped that in there. Xie Lian examines the wall more, but he sees that not only are they painted black, they are also rugged like a woman's face covered in scars. He realizes that the temples were burnt by fire. When the murals on the wall catch fire, it will turn black, and the paint would melt and harden into strange shapes on the wall, causing that rugged texture. Pei Ming comments that Xie Lian sure knows a lot. It's kind of amazing. Xie Lian admits that it's not that amazing. The only reason he knows this is because so many of his own temples were burnt down, so he recognizes the pattern. The group awkwardly goes quiet. Xie Lian also realizes why the markings on the stone gate look strange. It's because that someone had scratched and slashed at the writing. It's the same as breaking someone's establishment plaque.
Oof. Dark.
The desecrated shrine here.
Banyue is surprised. So the divine temple was burnt down by the people of Wuyang? Xie Lian is about to respond when Pei Ming suddenly says, "What's the meaning of this? There's a scorpion snake bite..." When Pei Ming suddenly says, "What's the meaning of this?" There's a scorpion snake biting his left hand. Banyue is about to kneel to apologize, but Xie Lian stops her and says, "Banyue, don't get into the habit of kneeling to apologize. General Pei, how did you get yourself bitten by her snake?" Pei Ming says darkly, "How should I know? I was only putting my arms around her and it became like this."
Okay, Pei, come on.
What the fuck? Xie Lian replies, "Then General Pei, what were you doing putting your arm around her shoulders?" Pei Ming replies, "A habit. In a dark and creepy place like this, isn't it normal to hold women in your arms to comfort them and calm their fears?" Wow.
Vision
Disgusting.
of women are that they are just weak and useless.
Disgusting.
Oh my god.
Disgusting
Pei Ming,
shit.
please.
Wow.
It looks like Pei Ming literally held her out of habit, always used to comforting women, and the snakes reacted to protect her. Banyue replies, "I'm sorry, but I wasn't scared." Pei Ming yanks the snake off his hand and asks for the antidote. But Banyue says that all the antidotes she had are already gone. Xie Lian tells him that since Pei Ming is a heavenly official, the swelling should go down soon. He turns around and continues to examine the wall when suddenly he notices a certain area and freezes. He calls out, "Everyone, come see. There's still a face here on this wall." Give me 1 second. I'm gonna refill my water. But I will be right back.
I think I would like to do that as well.
Oh, okay, let's do a quick water break.
Okay, be right back, fam. We'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some water. Wee.
Aha, I came early. Oh my goodness. I got water like all over my sleeve and now everything is wet and cold, unfortunately. Let me get my headphones back in. I think Stella's gonna take longer because she has to go up and downstairs to go to her kitchen. But yeah, crazy shit happening right now. Oh my gosh. With all these like very ominous temples, and why is the Prince of Wuyang, why is his temples all fucked up? Why did everyone try to burn his temples down and slash at his, like, the signage outside? And slash at everyone's faces and stuff. What's going on? Tinker says, "Oh no, Jenny." I know, it's so cold. And it's like this material is like absorbing all the water, so it's like not gonna dry very easily. I'm just fast, yeah. I zoomed. Well, my kitchen is very close to this room, like with the layout of how my house is. Like the kitchen is like right over there, so it's not that far. So yeah, but Stella has to like go up and down some stairs. Oh, hello, Domino. You wanna say hi to stream? No. You've literally jumped up and down on my lap like 4 or 5 times. Can you please make up your mind on where you want to be? Want to come up here? You can make it. You can jump. He doesn't know how to jump. What's wrong with you? Come here. You know how I was giving the cats treats from yesterday's stream? I put the treat bag in my drawer, like right here, like right over here, and I closed the drawer before I went to bed last night. But apparently my cats can open the drawers now, because when I came into this room later on today, the fucking treat bag was in the middle of the floor and it was fucking demolished. Like there was a hole in the bag and like there was treats everywhere and the bag was just like all fucking chewed up and shit. So like now I have to fucking put the cat treats in like a locked box or something, because my cats are fucking crazy. I cannot believe they literally learned how to open my drawer on my desk in order to fucking steal all the treats. Like, that's awful. How dare they? It's because you guys are fat. You guys are fat and greedy for snacks. Can you not steal all the snacks? Can you only eat the snacks when I give them to you?
Hello, I'm back. And I have
welcome
hot
back.
water and a piece of toast.
Oh, I am jealous of your toast. I haven't had bread in so long.
Oh no. Because your diet?
Yeah, because of the surgery, I can only eat through a straw.
Oh.
I literally started eating solid food this week. Starting from like Saturday. Like it was the first time I ate solid food.
Aw.
So I had rice for the first time in 2 weeks. That
Aw.
was exciting. It was great. Yeah. What's Oolong doing? It's like, hello, look at my asshole.
I know, right?
Like,
Hi. Hello. Hello, little boy.
Oh
You
my gosh.
come hang out?
The cats are smart. Yeah, I was just telling everyone how my cats found my cat treats in the drawer, and they learned how to open the drawer. And this morning, like all the treats were all over the floor. So I'm like, I need to find a way to hide the treats.
What a jerk.
They're too smart. They're too smart for their own good.
I have to get a thing to keep my sliding door closet closed because Puar keeps like trying to get into it.
Yes, I have another room. It doesn't have a doorknob. It's like 2 French doors, and doesn't really have a latch. So I had to put like a barn lock on it.
Sir.
So that they don't fucking open it because they learn how to open the door. That's crazy. Fucking cats are. Why are you so stupid and smart at the same time?
Yep.
Why are you so dumb? And
Right?
So smart.
Oh my god, this cat. Oolong slapped me. Oolong just slapped me with his tail, so now there's cat hair all over my mouth.
Oh no, your toast is hairy. Hairy toast.
Yeah, it's probably hairy. Yep.
Oh no, Oolong, please, not like this. Why are you like this? Cats, please.
This is my dinner.
I haven't had dinner yet, because normally we end stream by now. I'll eat right after this though.
Yep. I'm just taking my like little meal break.
Quick bread break.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Mm.
Yeah. I really. So when I was like, since I wasn't able to eat anything, I literally put like a list of food that I want to eat on like my refrigerator like notepad so that I can like think about the food that I want to eat when I can eat again. And literally one of them was just honey on toast. Like I just really wanted toast because I couldn't eat anything crunchy. And I was just like, please give me toast.
Aww.
So when I get back from Hallmat, I'm gonna get a bunch of roast. Like my list is like, I want risotto, I want steak, I want toast, and like pork belly. I just have like a list of food that I've been dying to eat. So
Oh my god.
some of that while I'm at Hallmat though.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited for Hallmat.
Me too.
Okay. I'm trying to eat this as fast as I can, but I'm going to read the first paragraph.
You're good. Okay, sure.
Okay. Now we're on chapter 152. Four heavenly kings hidden on darkened walls. On the mural is half of a face that wasn't burnt off. Xie Lian begins to scratch gently at the burnt section to see more of his face. He wonders if learning more about the murals will help them learn about the origins of Mount Tonglu and know what kind of power is supporting it. Maybe they can destroy it and stop future ghost kings from being born. Ming says that if Hua Cheng couldn't find anything while he was here, what can Xie Lian expect to learn? Aren't they just wasting their time? Hua Cheng immediately says, I didn't find anything out because my talents are dull and my abilities are limited. Besides, at that time, I was too busy killing. If Guga is to take the lead on this investigation, then the results will be different. Xie Lian says back, No. I'm the one whose abilities are limited. Salong is much more capable than me.
Oh my god, stop flirting. What the heck? Ming can't listen to this anymore, and he tosses pasty to Danmei and goes outside for air. Meanwhile, Xie Lian makes great progress scratching away the burnt sections, and he's already revealed more of the face. The face looks lively and passionate, like it's chasing after something. He asks Hua Cheng to help, and Hua Cheng then releases hundreds of silver butterflies to chip away at the blackened walls. All at once, the blackened material crumbles away and a giant, colorful mural is revealed. The mural is divided into 4 levels. At the top is golden light and clouds with no people. The second level has 1 person, a handsome man in white with golden light. On the third level, there are 4 people. Each of their faces are different, but they're half the size of the man on the second level.
The 4th level at the bottom has countless people drawn and half the size of the people in the 3rd level. All their faces are the same, with worship with worshipful, passionate expressions. The first face that Xie Lian had peeled was one of the faces at the bottom. Xie Lian asks Hua Cheng if he's seen this before, and Hua Cheng replies that he's been in every divine temple in Wuyang, and this is the first time he's seen this mural. Xie Lian says that there's no way this mural is from 2,000 years ago. The colors and conditions are too well kept. It's maybe like 100 years old, which means that somebody painted this mural afterwards. Xie Lian deducts that the top level is the heavens, the second is the crown prince of Wuyang, and the fourth are the citizens of Wuyang.
He wonders who are the four figures on the third level. Hua Cheng notices that there is some golden light on the four figures depicting spiritual energy. So perhaps they are the heavenly officials that the crown prince appointed after he ascended. Same as Muqing and Fengxian's positions when Xie Lian ascended. Xie Lian takes a look at the three walls. Xie Lian takes a look at the other three walls, but they don't have any murals. He wonders who left this mural behind and why. He tells Hua Cheng that perhaps there are more murals in the other temples. Maybe they can learn more as they go. Xie Lian, Hua Cheng, and Ban Yue carrying Pei Su leave the temple looking for Pei Ming. But Pei Ming is nowhere to be found. After searching the empty town for a bit, he is still not found.
Hua Cheng says, "Don't worry, Gaga, I've a way," and releases a small butterfly. Unexpectedly, Pei Ming's voice comes out of the butterfly saying, "I never thought I'd see you here." Xie Lian looks at Hua Cheng in surprise, but Hua Cheng laughs and says, "Yesterday, I placed a silver butterfly on everyone." Pei Su raises his head with great effort and says, "So you can use that silver butterfly to monitor the others' every movement without them noticing you? As expected of Crimson Rain, sought flower." Hua Cheng snipes back, "Don't speak if you don't know how." Xie Lian calls to the butterfly, "General Pei, where are you? Who's in front of you?" Hua Cheng replies that, unfortunately, the butterflies can only listen, not speak.
Xie Lian decides to wait and listen, hoping to hear who Pei Ming is talking to. Soon enough, a voice calls out, "Old Pei, a word of warning. You best not say any ridiculous nonsense right now. Careful, I just might smack you to death." It is the voice of Ling Wen's male voice. It turns out that the black-clad man who was killing all those ghosts earlier is Ling Wen. And remember that she's wearing the immortal brocade, which is giving her like a lot of strength and power-ups.
Super martial abilities.
Yes. Pei Ming says, "Noble Jie, what's with this fury?" Ling Wen replies, "Shut up. I told you not to speak. I'm not the furious one, it's someone else. I'm telling you, I can't control my body right now, so if I wreck you, I'm not liable." Pei Ming replies, "We're both in this state right now, can't even move a muscle, so who are you trying to scare?" It sounds like they're both being held somewhere, and Ling Wen isn't the one that kidnapped Pei Ming. Whoever kidnapped them both is strong enough to suppress the brocade immortal.
Pei Ming criticizes Ling Wen for stealing the brocade immortal and breaking her own golden bow, basically destroying her steady job. Did the brocade immortal force her to come to Mount Tonglu? Ling Wen replies, "He didn't make me. I'm the one who wants to come." "Old Pei, stop asking questions. He's getting mad. I can feel it." Pei Ming shuts up, and after a moment, Ling Wen asks how come Pei Ming is at Mount Tonglu and why his left hand is so swollen. Pei Ming's voice is aggrieved. "Bad luck. It's complicated. Long story short, little Pei isn't making things easy. Things weren't supposed to be this pathetic, but who knew the moment I'd come, I'd run into my unlucky star. Think I'd let anyone drag me to this hellish place if I wasn't injured? I didn't even see who it was."
Xie Lian can hear echoes and the faint sound of water, so he thinks that they might be underground. Pei Ming asks Ling Wen, how did she end up being captured if she's so strong? If she was strong enough to kill over 1,000 ghosts? Ling Wen laughs bitterly and says that she accidentally fought the Ringmaster, and while she was recovering, someone ambushed her from behind. She reminds him not to expose his real identity if the person comes back. But just then, a third voice calls out, "Pei Ming, Nanggong Jie, you fucking pair. No need to spin your wheel of fortune. Think I don't know what's underneath your fake skins?"
Ooh, who is it? Okay, so now we're on chapter 153, Why not Xu Li? Why not Jing Wen? Xie Lian doesn't recognize the new voice. Pei Ming's voice says, "Might I ask who my lord is? Since you've reached this point, why not show your face?" The man replies, "You should be the one to answer that question." Ling Wen comments that the grudge must be with Pei Ming. Probably some female ghost he ruined. Pei Ming tells her to stop talking bullshit. This man is obviously not a female ghost. Plus, he captured Ling Wen too, so maybe he's got grudges against her too. Ling Wen says, "Never mind. It's possible he has grudges against both of us, so they should just work together." The kidnapper approaches them, but instead of footsteps, they hear thumping sounds. The man says, "Can you both be less shameless and stop flirting in front of me?"
Ling Wen then seems to have recognized him and says, "You're Jing Wen Zhen. Jing Wen Zhen.
Zen Jun?
Jing Wen Zhen Jun?"
Yeah.
Okay, Ling Wen seems to have recognized him and says, "You're Jing Wen Zhen Jun?" Pei Ming is shocked. He's never heard Jing Wen Zhen Jun speak so impolitely. Ling Wen humps and says, "He's always been this way. Puts on a face in front of others and another in front of me, so of course you wouldn't recognize him." On the other side, Xie Lian is confused. Who is Jing Wen? Pei Su replies with a low voice that Jing Wen is the previous #1 civil god before Ling Wen. He had appointed Ling Wen as a junior official when he ascended. Xie Lian finally remembers that when he first ascended 800 years ago, Ling Wen was still a junior official at the time. The civil god back then was Jing Wen. But currently there are no temples for Jing Wen and he has faded to obscurity.
Xie Lian wonders why everyone must always fight. Can't they just speak peacefully if they all know each other? Hua Cheng says that it's because they know each other that they do fight. On the other side, Jing Wen speaks again, but this time he speaks politely since his identity was revealed. He mocks Ling Wen for falling from her position and for breaking her own golden bowl. Pei Ming pipes up, "You see, the grudge is with you." But then Jing Wen says he's not off the hook. That bitch Ling Wen harassed his worshippers and desecrated his temples. But it's Pei Ming who lent her martial officials to help her. He had appointed Ling Wen out of sympathy for talent, and this is how she repays him? With an ungrateful, venomous wench.
So some Ling Wen personality reveals. It looks like she fucking desecrated and harassed the worshippers of this Jing Wen guy who was her superior when she was still a junior official.
New characters.
So, yes. Xie Lian thinks to himself that the three tumors certainly live up to their nasty reputations, since he's learning that even Ling Wen is capable of acting so petty and violently. And remember that the three tumors referring to Ling Wen, Pei Ming, and Shi Wudu, because they are three gods who are very, very powerful, but also have a really terrible reputation with the mortals because they act so terribly and they do terrible things.
Mm-hmm.
Pei Ming is a fucking hoe and fucks married women, and Ling Wen has a terrible reputation for herself now that, as we learned, and Shi Wudu used to take bribes in order for merchants to travel safely.
Yep.
So those are the three tumors. But surprisingly, Ling Wen replies in a flat voice, "Who is Jing Wen putting up this act for? He himself knows exactly why he appointed. He himself knows exactly why he appointed Ling Wen and exactly how he really treated her after appointing her. Others may not know, but there's no point lying to her." Xie Lian is curious and asks Pei Su if he knows the full story, but Pei Su replies that it all happened before he ascended. Hua Cheng says, "Guga, there's no need to ask others, just ask me." Xie Lian is amazed and says, "Sanlang, you know about Heaven's old past scandals too?" Hua Cheng nods and tells him the tale.
Jing Wen and Ling Wen were both civil gods from the kingdom of Xu Li. Jing Wen is older than Ling Wen by many hundred years, so they never crossed paths at first. One year, there was a festival where they held a contest in the kingdom. Young scholars could write an anonymous essay and have them hung in the largest civil god temple, which belonged to Jing Wen. The essays would be judged by the people and a winner would be selected. Jing Wen descended to the mortal realm and transformed into a scholar to join the contest for fun. He wrote an elegant essay singing praises to the kingdom of Shuli and was confident he would win. He imagined once he won, he would reveal his true form to the mortals and create an awe-inspiring tale. However, there was an your turn. Sorry.
You're good. However, there was an awkward incident. The winner of the contest was not Jing Wen's essay titled Ode to Shuli, but instead it was a political criticism essay titled Not Shuli. Hua Cheng comments that he himself read the essay, and it wasn't that amazingly written, but at the time, the political situation in Shuli was messy, and the citizens had many complaints. So when they saw this essay criticizing the kingdom, they liked it more than the essay singing it praises. Xie Lian nods and says that there is no such thing as number one in literature. Everything is subjective. After the contest winner was announced, the people tried to see who wrote it, but of course no one wanted to claim to be the winner. Wouldn't they just get in trouble with the kingdom's officials for criticizing it? Soon after, the festival ended with no one claiming the first place prize.
Jing Wen wasn't pleased with the results, but tried to forget about the whole affair. But unfortunately, after a few months, shocking news came out that the writer of Not Shuli was found and apprehended and locked in prison. It was a young woman who sold shoes on the streets. How could a mere female shoe seller win over the number one literature god? This was incredibly embarrassing for Jing Wen. It turns out that when Ling Wen was mortal, on top of selling shoes, she would sometimes help people write letters or sonnets to make extra income. One day, one of her employers discovered her writing was similar to the winning essay and reported her. After hearing the news, Jing Wen immediately appointed Ling Wen to be his junior official.
Poor Ling Wen. At the time, female officials were very few in number. Most of them ruled over flowers or crafts or singing or other such skills. And no god of the upper court has ever appointed a female junior official. Female civil gods were the most rare, and the few that existed didn't control any of the literature. Instead, they grinded ink or laid papers. They were treated more like cool beauties to be viewed and appreciated rather than actual heavenly officials. Jing Wen was praised for his actions, and everyone told Ling Wen how lucky she was that Jing Wen took notice of her. Not only did she escape prison, but she was now amongst the heavenly officials. But it sounds like there is more that happened behind the scenes.
Jing Wen says presently, I've regarded you highly and used you heavily, but you make it sound like I bore ill intentions. Ling Wen has always spoken politely, but now her tone is scathing. Please, there's really no need for you to go around telling everyone how highly you regarded me. If you really did, you wouldn't have made me serve tea and water to everyone in the palace for so many years, wipe tables, walk hundreds of miles just to pick up a set of poetry scripts, and unceasingly deliver gifts to other heavenly officials during every holiday. Xie Lian thinks back and realizes that really was the case. When he first ascended, Ling Wen was constantly running errands.
Jing Wen accuses her that she's only unhappy because he never promoted her. But did she ever think about why he didn't promote her? Ling Wen replies, why? I want to know why too. When I was immortal, I had time and leisure to read and write. Even when I was locked up in jail, I could at least reflect calmly against the wall. After being appointed, there wasn't a day I wasn't laboring away for you, running errands and prostrating. If you had wanted to torment me, then it was a pretty good idea. Jing Wen is outraged and he shouts, you still dare refuse to admit your wrongs even now? And Ling Wen shouts back, and what wrongs have I committed?
Jing Wen says, what I made you do was obviously the best for you. If you can't even take care of such small matters, what right do you have to do more important things? I was giving you the opportunity to cultivate and train your mind. You're the one who's incapable, but you dare blame me for not promoting you? You think too highly of yourself, but you're a woman after all. You can't reach that high. You have to admit that's the truth. Ling Wen laughs out loud and says, very well. You said I can't reach Very well. You said I couldn't reach that high. Then might I ask you, had the prominence of the palace of Jing Wen at its peak ever reached even the knees of my palace of Ling Wen?
Fucking hate this Jing Wen dude. Fuck this guy. Oh
Fuck
my
this
god,
guy.
I fucking hate him so much. Oh my god. I am on Team Ling Wen at this time.
Oh, I've
I
always
don't
been
care.
on Team Ling Wen.
Yeah, fucking god, that's what a terrible person. Xie Lian can feel the resentment and rage growing thicker, and it's best not to continue this conversation. Without any other choice, he starts to punch the ground until there is a large crater around him. Hua Cheng cries out in alarm, but Xie Lian says that this is the most direct path if they're somewhere underground. Since Hua Cheng is small and Pei Jr. is still sick, he tells them to move aside before he summons Ming and uses it to pierce the ground. He randomly starts making craters on the ground everywhere, using the butterfly to hear if he's getting closer. Meanwhile, Ling Wen seems to have hit Jing Wen's sore spot, and his polite mask is finally ripped off, and he says in a bitter voice, "Non Gongzhe, stop wagging your tail like a wretch who's won in front of me. If it wasn't for me appointing you into the heavens, who knows how many you'd have borne spawns for in jail." Pei Ming finally can't listen anymore and says, "You were at least a civil god once. Can you not be this classless?"
Jing Wen shouts, "See how your good lover is shielding you? Who are you, General Pei, to accuse me of classlessness?" Ling Wen spits out, "In your mind, who isn't my lover? You're looking for retribution? Let's talk about retribution." But just then, Xie Lian slams into the ground again, and this time, Jing Wen hears it. He shouts alarmed, "What's that noise?" Xie Lian is excited that he finally found the right direction. Going harder, he runs and pounds the ground again. Pei Ming shouts, "It's closer now. What a powerful blow. It came from above?" Xie Lian pulls out Fang Xin and slices down. The aura of the sword explodes and the entire ground caves in. He falls into an underground cave, and when he stands up to wave away the dust, he sees Jing Wen. But what he sees causes his eyes to widen in shock.
What is it that he saw? Oh my god, I really, really do hate Jing Wen though. He's just like treating Ling Wen like a fucking unpaid intern, and then just like, then fucking accusing him of her of being incompetent because she's a fucking woman. Like, it's just so fucked up.
Fuck you,
So
Jing
fucked
Wen.
up.
Why are
Yeah.
you here? You're pointless.
Yeah, basically. Chapter 154, Why Not Shu Li, Why Not Jing Wen? So it turns out that Jing Wen isn't a man, but actually a stone statue of a man. Its body is wrapped awkwardly in cloth. No wonder Xie Lian didn't hear footsteps earlier instead heard thumping sounds when it moved. Pei Ming and Ling Wen are bound by a scroll-like material. Jing Wen turns to Xie Lian and says, "You're the Crown Prince of Shanle?" Xie Lian is taken aback. "Uh-huh, you actually recognize me?" Jing Wen replies, "Of course. Your Highness's journey of godhood experienced such ups and downs, it'd be difficult not to recognize you. When Xie Lian first ascended, it was such an earth-shattering ordeal that of course every god in the upper court knows him."
Xie Lian is feeling weirdly touched and says, I'm honored, but how did you become... Jing Wen says, "How did I become this form? Isn't it all thanks to that bitch Nangongjie? After the palace of Jing Wen declined, my spiritual powers became weaker and weaker, and she'd add insult to injury, coming after me to try and kill me. I've no choice but to possess this stone statue in order to survive till now." Ling Wen comments that her violence is nicer than his harassment. He used to order Ling Wen to stay working until midnight and then turn around to say that she was shamelessly hanging around late to seduce him. Words murder without form. I've been much nicer responding with blatant violence.
Yep. Why? Don't be sneaky, just fucking fight.
Disgusting
I
shit.
know, he's terrible. Then suddenly, Ling Wen kicks at Jing Wen's crotch. Xie Lian thinks that nothing will happen since it's a stone statue, but unexpectedly, Jing Wen wails out and bends over like his nuts really were kicked. From the kick, the white cloth covering his crotch is ripped, and Xie Lian realizes that under the cloth there is nothing. He's possessing a eunuch slave statue. This type of statue is often seen in the graves of concubines, full of yin energy, so they're good choices for possession. However, for a heavenly official like Jing Wen, who is so small-minded when it comes to losing to a woman to end up in a eunuch statue is truly ironic.
Ha 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 ha. You don't have a
Deserves
dick.
it.
Ling Wen bursts out laughing. Jing Wen rips off the rest of his Jing Wen rips off the rest of his clothes and tramples it furiously. He grabs Ling Wen's hair and shouts, "Shut up! And how many heavenly officials have you slept with to get where you are? Don't be so pleased with yourself. Apologize right now." A large bundle of Ling Wen's hair is pulled, but she endured without begging for mercy. Pei Ming says with disgust, "Are you really a civil god? Such a lack of class and elegance. Even shrews on the street are better than you." Xie Lian tries to calm everyone down and says, "Jing Wen Zhenjun, it really doesn't matter if you have that thing or not. Really, it's true." Jing Wen roars, "Lies! How can it not matter? Why don't you get rid of yours and see?"
Xie Lian says earnestly, "It's true, believe me. Even though I have the thing, but it's the same as if I don't have one, because I'm that." Jing Wen seems to have calmed down and says, "You're what?" Xie Lian replies, "Just that, you understand. And even if I have it, I never use it. Actually, whether it be a male heavenly official or lady heavenly officials or other heavenly officials, such things are all superficial. No need to be so preoccupied." Jing Wen interrupts him. "If you don't think it matters, why don't you chop it off to prove it? Didn't you say it makes no difference? Hypocrite, you're obviously reluctant in losing the thing, so don't you use that bullshit to cajole me. I'm no youngin' who'll cry and repent just because you're giving me 2 candies. It's alright if you don't chop yours off. I'm gonna chop off his." And he points to Pei Ming.
Pei Ming shouts
Why are
out,
they talking about dicks?
"Why are they talking about dicks? How do we get on the topic of dicks?"
God, how did we get here?
Pei Ming shouts out dumbfoundedly, "What the fuck?" Although there are many who want to cut off Pei Ming's thing, Xie Lian can't let Jing Wen get his way. He says that although it's wrong Ling Wen bullied him after his decline, since he bullied her too, isn't it technically even? There's no need to be so extreme. Secretly, he releases Roye as he talks to capture Jing Wen from behind. Jing Wen says that it's not that simple. Not only did she attack him, she also played a part in the fall of the kingdom of Shuli. Since Jing Wen was a civil god of Shuli, the kingdom was also his foundation for worshippers. After Shuli fell, his decline became quicker.
Uh-oh, how did she do that? He suspects that Ling Wen did it on purpose, but Ling Wen stays silent. He shouts out, "Just say it. Wasn't it you causing shit in the dark? I just knew it was you. It must have been you, otherwise the kingdom wouldn't have fallen so fast. It's all you insidious bitch's fault. That idiot general must have fallen into your hands." Ling Wen suddenly starts snickering. Do you know what the consequences are for calling him an idiot to his face? Jing Wen doesn't understand, but in that next moment, the scroll binding Ling Wen suddenly rips apart and her hand reaches out to seize his head.
The hand squeezes so tightly that cracks appear on the face, until eventually the entire stone statue shatters into pieces. It turns out that from the legend of the brocade immortal, the general Baijing was also a person from Shuli. Xie Lian is still organizing his thoughts when Pei Ming suddenly shouts out, "Ling Wen, stop!" Ling Wen's body is possessed by the brocade immortal, and she's approaching Pei Ming with a threatening aura. Ling Wen tries to talk Baijing and soothes him, but it seems that Baijing is angry hearing Pei Ming being called her lover, and he wants to kill him out of jealousy. Xie Lian quickly uses his sword to free Pei Ming from the binding scroll, and the two run out of the hole into the ceiling. Looking down, they see that Ling Wen has punched a hole in the wall where Pei Ming was before. Violent.
Oh my god, so violent. Xie Lian calls back Roye and Pei Ming comments, "What is this fucking resentment?" But just then, Ling Wen flashes before him. They quickly exchange blows, but after a moment, Xie Lian and Pei Ming exchange a look, silently agreeing that this has become too troublesome, and they both run away at the same time. Xie Lian shouts back as he runs, "Ling Wen, can you try and calm down General Baijing?" Ling Wen is chasing after them as she shouts, "I tried, but he doesn't listen, but he doesn't believe me anymore." Pei Ming replies, "It must be because he's hurt that you lied to him." Xie Lian suggests that she turns back into a woman, but Ling Wen says that she's unable to change forms. Ming comments that it must be because Bai Jing is afraid of being pressed against a woman's body. What a whim.
Oh, don't insult him.
I know, seriously.
In the next second, Ling Wen throws a roof at him and shouts, I didn't throw that! Your fault for insulting him. Now he's even more mad. You're both in danger. Xie Lian cries out that he didn't even say anything. Ling Wen asks where Pei Jr., Ban Yue, and Hua Cheng are. Maybe there are more people they can stop. Maybe if there's more people, they can stop Bai Jing. But Xie Lian says that they're in the opposite direction. Plus, Bai Jing has defeated over 1,000 ghosts, so it's unwise to fight him head on. But then all of a sudden, a giant net falls down and hoists Xie Lian and Pei Ming into the air. It looks like they fell into some sort of trap. The net is made of special material and they can't rip it open. Just then, 200 ghosts and creatures jump up, excited that their trap worked. Xie Lian can't believe he fell into the trap of these low-level minions.
Xie Lian reaches for a function, but he realizes that he dropped it on the ground when he was caught in the net. Underneath him is Ling Wen looking up.
Can you say that sentence again? There was a lag.
Oh. Underneath him is Ling Wen looking up. The minions see Ling Wen and excitedly shout out, "Another one!" Not realizing the danger that they're in. Ling Wen, under the brocade immortal's control, raises her hands and summons 2 balls of black ghost fire. Xie Lian asks what will happen if they are hit with this ghost fire, and Ling Wen replies that the last time she hit Qi Ying with it, he was injured, but he could still move and run around. Xie Lian and Pei Ming sigh in relief, thinking at least the damage won't be too bad. But just then, the 2 ghost fires in Ling Wen's hand suddenly erupt to 10 times the size, turning into 2 giant pillars of fire blazing into the skies. Pei Ming and Xie Lian are speechless. Ling Wen comments, but how things would be after hit by flames this size, I can't say. Pei Ming shouts, "Wait, I'm really not your lover though?" Ling Wen replies that she knows, but the brocade immortal doesn't.
The brocade immortal just drinking vinegar.
Literally, yeah.
The group of minions are stunned by the ghost fires and quickly draw their weapons. Just as Ling Wen is turning to the minions to kill them all, a sudden whirlwind blows by, blowing the entire mob of minions into the sky. The brocade immortal seems to have sensed danger, and he quickly scans the area. Xie Lian looks around, but he can't see past the trees. Pei Ming asks, "What's come?" Xie Lian says that he smells flowers. Pei Ming frowns. He doesn't smell any flowers, but he smells blood? Before he knows it, something drops down on his face. When he wipes it away with his hands, he looks down. He sees that it is blood. More drops of blood fall down onto Ling Wen's ghost fires. In the next instant, a rain of blood falls down. Pei Ming's net is higher than Xie Lian, so he gets hit with the majority of the rain, looking like a bloody drowned rat. Only the whites of his eyes are visible. Ling Wen's fires are extinguished, and she has to run under a tree to avoid looking like Pei Ming. As for Xie Lian, he suddenly feels his net rip and his body drops. He flips into the air right as he falls and lands steadily on the ground.
Xie Lian raises his sleeve to block out the rain, but before a single drop lands on him, he suddenly hears a soft, low rumble of laughter. Suddenly, the air is filled with the fragrance of flowers. When Xie Lian lifts his head to look up, instead of bloody raindrops, he sees a stunning shower of red flower petals falling towards him. Xie Lian catches a flower petal and shouts out, "Sanlang!" When he turns around, he sees that Ling Wen has fallen to the ground, and there is Hua Cheng, softly laughing with his raven black hair and crimson robes in the form of a tall and slender young man. Hua Cheng's face is as bright and handsome as the first time they met. He languidly sheaths his long scimitar and speaks with a deep voice. "Your Highness, I've come back."
Oh my god!
Oh my god! And this is a perfect stopping point. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
What an ending!
Every girl just wants a guy to cause a blood rain and a flower torrent, and then catch him and look at him and say, "Your Highness, I've come back." Oh my god!
I love how he's like, "I will cause this blood rain, but I will make sure that you are clean and safe and dry, and I will just smother you with flowers instead because I love you."
Every time I think about from Hua Chen's perspective how he feels and everything, it's so cute.
What a fucking, oh my god, simp.
Simp, seriously. And like, I'm just imagining how nervous and pubescent Hua Chen is in his brain, but like outwardly he's just like, I'm so cool. I'm the coolest person.
I'm gonna be calm.
And on the inside, he's just having like the worst like panic attacks about like my hair isn't the right one. I tried to put on eyeliner faster, but I got here too late.
And you know that Hua Cheng is vain because he likes to dress up, and he really hated it when he was in the smaller form because he likes being like a beautiful young man.
Yeah.
So we know how vain he fucking is, okay?
Oh my god, it's so funny. Like I just want to see more written from his perspective. I just want people to write how he is because he's so
funny.
He's probably so cringe.
Yeah, I bet. Like he's a man in love. Like of course he's cringe.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, so good. So good. Oh my god, I love this entire everything in this scene. It was so good.
So good. Good soup. Good soup.
Stuff.
Yep.
Good soup.
Yep. Finally, Hua Chen is back. Like it feels like it's just been like domestic and cute, but we want the guy that we fell in love with.
Yeah, we want his older form back where he protects Gaga. He just everything is fine. I'm so happy. It's so good. It's so good. Okay. Yay.
Okay.
What do you want to talk about your off topic first?
Yes, I have so many I'm reading right now. So,
I know.
let me try and figure out like one that really works. Cause like I kept jumping in between like Scum Villain and Urha Fix because I love Shen Cho and Chu Wanning now.
Yeah.
Remember when you told me like that you love Shen Cho and I'm like I hate Shen Cho. She's like, yeah,
I
you're
know!
like no,
in the
but
very beginning of Scum Villain, I was like, I know that the book did a really awful characterization of him, but when you really get to know his backstory, I swear to God, you're gonna have sympathy for him. And you're just like, I don't see it yet. I don't get it. And now look at you. Now look at you.
When people write things in Shen Cho's entire, oh my fucking god, it's so good.
God, it's so fucking sad. His life sucks, dude. Like his life sucks.
I know, poor him.
I very distinctly remember going on like a rant and like typing out all the fucking shit that he went through to you, and I was like, it's so fucking sad. Like he was fucking abused as a child, and he was kidnapped, and he was a slave, and you're just like, yep.
And how angry you were.
Yeah. I was like, listen, his master deceived him. Like I was so mad.
And I was just like,
And now you feel his suffering.
Oh, so sad. So there was one, I'm trying to find it. But essentially the story, oh my god, I've read so many.
Scroll through your history.
Holy shit, hold on. Maybe can I go through my history with a okay, yeah, go first then. Go first.
Okay. Okay, so this one is kind of like a funny fanfic. And I'm still stuck in Murazushi land, so this is a Murazushi one. But it's also a canon divergent, so it's still set in the cultivation world. And it's a universe where there was no war. And Yan Li, the Wei Ying's sister, marries the Jin guy, and everything is fine. They have the baby, no one dies. But because like the war never happened, Wei Ying and Lanzhan never really like had any, like they didn't have much conflicts, so they just kind of ended up friends after like the studying at Cloud Recesses. Like they just become friends, and Lanzhan never really had a chance to like confess his feelings or like have any kind of like thing. And Wei Ying is just like a happy-go-lucky guy who's like now becoming an uncle, and he's excited for like being an uncle. And this story is somewhat set in the Jin Sichuan's perspective, the Yan Li's husband, because he is now like the chief cultivator. He is in charge of the Jin sect, and his son is now born, and he's really happy, but he's also tired because he's like a fucking new father. But he's annoyed because fucking Wei Ying will not leave the Jin Tower. Like he is there every day, fucking harassing him, being like trying to be the favorite uncle, and he doesn't want to take care of the baby's diapers, but he just wants to play with them. And every single time the baby has like a poopy diaper, he's like, "Oh, here, you take care of it, Dad." And he's just there. And Jin is like, "I need to get rid of Wei Ying. What's the best way to get rid of this guy? Oh, I have an idea. What if he gets married to a sect leader? Then he'll move far away from here, and it'll be a great plan because he'll be in a happy marriage and he'll be away from my life forever." So he comes up with this plan where he invites Nia Mingjae and Lan Zishen to the tower to celebrate the kid's like 6-month-year birthday party or some shit.
The 100 day?
Excuse. Yeah, something like that too. It wasn't even a big celebration. It was like a nothing celebration.
Oh.
It was just because he was just like making up an excuse. He's like, we're gonna celebrate this child's so many months of being alive, because he just wanted to invite everyone to throw a party to like set weighing up with somebody. But Lan Zichen is like, oh, I don't really want to go to this party. How about you go for me, Lan Zhan? And Lan Zhan goes to this party because he just wants to hang out with Wei Ying. But everyone still thinks that Lan Zhan hates Wei Ying because he like never like shows affection to him, and he like brushes him off all the time. And Wei Ying's like flirting with him and hanging off on him and like giving him flower crowns, but Lan Zhan like constantly ignores him and pushes him aside. And basically the Jin guy is like, oh, I'm gonna set up Wei Ying with the Nia guy because obviously Lan Zhan doesn't have any interest in him. And so like he sets up this whole fucking plan where he gets them alone together and gets them to like go on dates together, and like, but Nia Mingjae has like zero interest in Wei Ying, but he realizes that Lan Zhan is like interested in him, is like but being too stupid to admit it. So he starts flirting with Wei Ying to like make Lan Zhan jealous. And Wei Ying is in the dark because he's fucking stupid. He has no idea that the Nia guy is flirting with him. He has no idea that Lan Zhan like secretly like returns his feelings, and he has no idea that he loves Lan Zhan also. So like it's becoming like this really big mess. And I haven't actually finished this story, so that's kind of where I'm off with the fanfic. But
that sounds great.
Yeah, it's just like chaotic mess comedy right now, and like the Jin guy is just sort of like, please, I just want Wei Ying to leave me fucking alone because I just want to be a dad. I just want to have my family, and I want this fucking gremlin out of my fucking house. Like he just like that's all he cares about. It's so funny.
Aww.
So
yeah, no, I want to read that. That sounds really cute. And yeah.
It's dumb. It's so dumb.
Okay, so I'm.
Yeah, so did you find your thing?
No, I can't find it because I've been reading so many fics. I will tell you it. We'll have it in the doc. I'm gonna try and remember the plot as much as I can. But it's a scum villain self-saving system one where Shen Qing Cho lives through the original book, and then he gets reborn as Shen Yuan and like lives through that whole life and like experiences love from a actual family.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Wait, I feel like I read this one.
There's two of them that are like this exact synopsis that I read recently. But I like both of them equally. They're both great. But I think this one I'm explaining has a like different. It's like a different plot. It's like a little bit different plot.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I think both of them get reincarnated into the new like 2.0 world because because Shen Qing Cho gets like brought in again after he dies, and then the system is like, hi, do you want to like test out our new try again, you know, like you died the first time, terrible, you died the second time, like, and a better life, would you like to go back to like and like relive your original life and like try and fix it? And he's like, ugh, only if you give me free reign. Like, don't give me any like B points or any kind of system. Like, I don't want system. I just want to just live it. I want to live it the way I want to live it. Fuck that shit, right? And Lo Binghe also gets reborn again, and he retains all of his memories. And so it's like this slow reveal of like Shen Qingqiu trying to treat Luo Binghe as best as he can and being a better Shituan, and Luo Binghe like slowly like not having resentment anymore, and like both, and also trying to figure out if this is like the real Shen Qingqiu or what, like why is he so much nicer, like this wasn't like this in his past and all that stuff. Yeah. And like there's a lot of like modern psychology applied because Shen Qingqiu is all like, well, I went to therapy, so I'm going to teach Mu Qingfang how to give therapy. Yeah, one of the things was that when he was born into the 2020 world, like modern world, he retained his memories as Shen Qingqiu. So he was a baby that was born into the world and was like, I'm a full-grown adult man.
Fucking love these isekai tropes.
Yeah. And so when so he spent his whole life like as Shen Yuan going to therapy and feeling like it was all his fault that all of his friends died in his past life and all that stuff. And his like sister and his brother had to help him throughout his life and like tell him like, that wasn't you. You're different now. It's not your fault. Like you don't have to protect other people.
Really sad.
It's so sad, of course. It's so good. And yeah, Shen Yuan still is Shen Yuan. Like he develops like a love for Luo Binghe, the fictional character. He follows the chapters every week when it like comes out. And yeah, so and he's like 19 years old when he dies, you know, because he ate bad yogurt. So
he can't take care of himself.
Yeah, and so like he's nicer to Luo Binghe, and Luo Binghe thinks like, oh my god, this is like the Shituan I've always wanted, like finally. But then like, of course, he overhears him talking about the Immortal Alliance or whatever it's called, the
conference.
The conference
thing.
And he like he overhears him talking about it with Mu Qingfang saying that like Luo Binghe is, you know, we got to stop him from like falling into the abyss or else he's gonna like come back and kill all of us. And Luo Binghe's like, what the fuck, this Shen Qingqiu is reborn, I've been lied to, he doesn't actually love me, he doesn't actually love me.
That's terrible.
And yeah, so it's just and then you know like the whole endless abyss stuff happens, and
so he still gets pushed into the thing, and then they get separated.
Well, they don't get separated actually. They both fall into the abyss.
Oh, he goes along for the ride.
Yeah.
I do like the fanfics though, the ones where Shen Yuan end up going with Luo Binghe into the endless abyss. Like those are some interesting.
Well, I want to see Shen Qingqiu and Luo Binghe at this point because I'm like, so because Shen Yuan is such a he's too nice, you know.
He's so nice. I like my nice boys.
He's way too nice though, to the point where like everyone falls in love with him because he's so nice. What I really liked about Shen Qingqiu is that he was an acquired taste. Yeah. And the people who
really get to know him and like get used to his personality.
Yeah. And that's why I like him so much, because that's why I like Chu Wanning. I love Chu Wanning so much.
So misunderstood. Misunderstood.
Yes. Yeah, so to me, Chu Wanning and Shen Qingqiu are now the same person. Like they're exactly the same.
They're the same.
Yep. Luo Binghe and Mo Ran are
who suffered.
Yeah, Luo Binghe and Tasha and Jun are the same, but Mo Ran is different. Mo Ran is his own person. Yeah.
He's a very complicated person. Yeah.
Hopefully I'll find this title.
You know the name of the titles, I can put it in the doc.
I know. I fucking reincarnate. Maybe that I can. I'll find it.
It's so hard to research for things. I always put like comments in my bookmarks now so that I know which one it is that I'm talking about.
Sometimes I don't even bookmark it because I'm like, I probably won't read it again. I should.
I bookmark everything I've read, even like if it was just like meh. I just so that I know that I read it, because there's no really good system to know if you read or something or not.
Oh yeah, that's true, because I've recently just reread an entire.
I accidentally done that so many times.
Dude,
I'm like, this sounds familiar.
Yeah. But the thing is that like I'm the one that I'm reading right now, it has like over 100 chapters, and I'm like, I think I read up to 80 chapters. So,
so
let's just
ahead.
No, I'm just gonna reread it because I don't remember.
You're starting
the plot.
all over. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I didn't realize that I restarted everything until literally chapter like 30. And I was like,
Okay, so
now
you
it
remembered
looks familiar. 30 fucking chapters in, I'm like, I think I read this.
If it was that good that you are enjoying your reread, that means it's good enough to reread.
Yeah.
Like, if it was boring, you just drop it anyway.
Yeah. And at this point, I read like 10 hours of fan fiction a day because of reading it on the series. Yeah.
Absolutely. I need my serotonin. Like, it's if I don't read a fanfic, if I don't read something each day, I feel like I'm gonna fall into a depressed pit. Like, I need my happiness.
Yes. I actually, when I'm at cons, I'm like, I can't wait to get back to my hotel room to read fanfics.
Bro,
I can't.
yeah, the other day I was like at an after party and I was like, I'm gonna slip out at like 11:30 so I can go home, back to the hotel room and read.
Yep. Yeah. Bye. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. Make sure you find us on Spotify and Google Podcasts, on YouTube, Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, watch our live streams on YouTube. They're a thing that's happening now.
They're great. And also you can find us on Patreon if you'd like to support us on there. And every episode we'd like to read some of your comments. And so recently, let's see, we have 2 comments, both from Kate Payne. Kate Payne says, Jenny, I hope you're feeling better from the surgery.
Oh, thank you. I'm feeling better now.
Yay.
Thank you for letting you have a hiatus for 2 weeks. I just like stopped everything for 2 weeks. I was like, nope.
Yep, you deserve it. And they were excited to read the bookmark, the new like fan fictions that we had recommended in the bottom show.
Oh, yay!
And then Kate Payne also said from episode 27, do you think Hua Cheng has heart in? Do you think Hua Cheng had hearts in his eyes when Xie Lian proclaimed himself a god? This was when...
That was so funny. When he was like, I am a god. I'm
800 years old. Yeah. That was so good. Oh, that was so good.
Like, with Heaven's eye and his third eye thing.
It was so stupid.
I bet Hua Cheng was turned on as fuck. Like,
I bet. When Xie Lian is the most confident version of himself, I bet. I would be. That shit is hot. Yay. So yeah, thank you guys for supporting our Patreon. It like is the only income we make from this.
Yes. Oh my god, we so fucking appreciate it.
I will say I kind of want to make merchandise, and one of the merches is a cup that has some kind of like, I was thinking either I was either thinking it would say FWAP.
Oh, like the sound effects of BL.
FWAP, so or I wanted to or I wanted to say something like Ajusi.
Like, I've been reading Dangerous Convenience Store.
So good. Dangerous Convenience. So it's good, but it's bad. Good. It's like good and it's bad.
Fucking funny though. Like, it's so okay. It's my guilty pleasure. I fucking love that shit.
Yes. So yeah, I was thinking about stuff like that. Like phrases or weird just inside jokes. Like you would only get it if you read BL. Or something.
I like that. Well, we can brainstorm some like
I would also I would also love to commission an artist to draw like a hot guy, but then when you put hot water into it, it makes him naked.
The color temperature changing things.
Yes.
Like the mugs that turn different colors when you put hot water in it. Yes.
Yeah.
I have a mug like that. It's like a heart and it like gets filled up as you put hot water in it.
Yeah.
So we should like have like him wearing like a business outfit. Like,
I know.
And then when you pour the hot water, it's just like harness straps underneath.
Yes. Oh man. Oh my god. Please. Please.
We are copywriting this.
Yeah. Don't steal it from us.
Don't steal this idea. This is our idea. It belongs to BL HQ podcast.
Yeah. Amazing.
Okay, let me try and find this code. Oh my gosh, do you remember if there was any specific good line that you really liked?
Oh my god, there's so many.
Ling Wen fighting with fucking Jing Wen.
There's so many good ones.
So much fighting, yeah. Or should I just do the Your Highness, I've come back?
No, there's so many good insults that they threw at each other. Yeah. The one where there's one where Xie Lian was like nervous, like that thing. That you don't need the thing.
Oh, you don't need that thing.
Where is it? Where is it?
It's like towards the bottom. When he finds them in the alarm. No, that's too low. It's right here.
Yeah, I
Chapter
see
134. Okay, which part? Okay, just that you understand. Even if I've never used it. Okay.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. And as Xie Lian said, just that you understand. And even if I have it, I never use it. Actually, whether it be male heavenly officials or lady heavenly officials or other heavenly officials, such things are all superficial. No need to be so preoccupied. No dicks needed. You heard it from Xie Lian himself.
He doesn't want no maidens. He doesn't want no gentlemen.
Wants nothing. He doesn't want anything except for Hua Cheng.
Watson's thing.
Ming.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
Cool. That was fun. All right, dope. Whoa! Oh my god, now we have to record 2 bottom shows, guys. Fuck. All right, thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate you being here. Hope you guys join us for our next Tuesday. We're gonna do this again.
Next Tuesday, yes.
Yeah.
After Hallmat.
We're gonna be so tired. Cool. Dope.
So tired. It's gonna be fine.
Whoa.
We'll see.
All right.
We shall see.
See ya.
Bye.